Comment ça va? That means how you doing. Me, I'm Tinu, and today we entered the bone-crunchingly strange world of 1970s daredevils. I've always been fascinated by stunt riders, and on the last episode, we created a crash cycle. Well, what good is a crash cycle without a rider? So today, we're gonna sculpt one, but this one's gonna be a little different. Have you ever seen footage of crash test dummies? This crash test dummy effect is what I'm going for here. In a video game, it's called ragdoll physics. Tinu, why would you want to do this? Well, the footage of Evel Knievel's crash when he tried to jump the Caesar's Palace fountains is what I'm going for. I'm not going to show you this whole clip because it's a little intense. You can go find it on YouTube if you're interested. Hey Tinu, how you gonna get your action figure to be like a crash test dummy? I have no idea. That's what we're gonna figure out. And make sure you stick around for the end because we're gonna do some crashing. So enough lollygagging, let's get our craft on. Bon matin. That means good morning. Hey, check this out. Oh yeah. I'm gonna base my stunt rider off of an old figure that I created. I took a picture of him and then imported him into Photoshop and made an outline. Then I scaled him to the size that I needed. Now we're gonna rough out his body with Sculpting Figure. Rough. Editor's note. Okay, I know I'm not gonna win an illustration award here, but these are just rough sketches based off of this guy that I made in another video. Look at him. Give him a little mouth, a couple of eyes. Eye holes. He's got a little bit of frogness to him. Bones. Boot. Kick the beat. Does anyone here feel like they're in a Russian disco? This is very dramatic music for building a frog guy. Let's bake him in the oven. I gave him a little bit of a nose. I got some monster clay melting in my crock pot. I'm gonna add kind of a V shape like in this picture. Look right there. With this kind of clay, you can smooth it out using an alcohol torch. Makes it glossy. I'm just adding a little thumb here to the hand with a magic sculpt. Hey Tinu, why are you doing the thumb in magic sculpt? You could have just sculpted the whole hand in one shot. Yeah, but I wanted to get the exact size so that it fits the handlebars. This gives me more control. Now we need to let it dry. Okay, let's start the casting and molding process. Molding and casting. See this guy? He's a stunt rider and he's gonna have to put up with some serious abuse. Plastic resin is perfect for this because it's even stronger than epoxy sculpt. What? This is what I call plumbing. And it's still very much a challenge for me to visualize how the resin will pour in the mold and where to put the vent holes for the air to escape through. But I'm trying. Plumbing. Bones. Hands. Pelvis and collarbone. Boots. Get a load of this. My wife, she paints, and look what she's done now. She made a painting of my hero, Mr. Robert Knievel. And that's his wishbone, which he broke like 19 times. And that's his skull, which he probably broke even more than that. And he used to write that on his helmet and sometimes his bike. It didn't always work. Anyway, that's Evel Knievel, Calling Me Lucky by Magwire. This is gonna be a one-piece mold for the body, and this is a one-piece mold for the head. Time to build some mold boxes. Relax, 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 relax. What does it mean? What does it all mean? What does it all mean? God, I hope I measured these correctly. Slapping it all together with some hot glue. That's kind of my thing. Silicone rubber. Mix it up. Okay, we're getting fancy. This is my degassing chamber. It's taking the air bubbles out of the silicone. See how it collapses? That's because most of the air is gone. Right here, I'm applying mold release so the silicone doesn't stick to itself.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. The brown fox is lazy.
Daddy, can you hear yourself?
No, there's a loud thumping in my head.
That's because you're tapping the mic.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Hello, crafts people of the world. We're gonna try something different today. We're gonna have a guest for the rest of this show.
That's me, I'm the guest.
Daddy, hold on, I'm getting to you. Me and the guest will watch the rest of this video from right here in the control room. And we're gonna do sort of a director's commentary.
This is not a control room, it's my living room.
Daddy.
And I'm not exactly thrilled with this. In fact, I'm under arrest, held against my will.
Daddy, would you please just let... What are you doing?
I'm trying to blink the word help in Morse code.
You know Morse code?
I wish.
Okay, let's just roll the footage and we'll watch and talk.
And after this, you're gonna wash my truck, right?
Yes.
Well, roll the clip and let's get this nightmare over. Well, for starters, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I'm removing monster clay from the first half of the mold.
Well, that clears it up.
Okay, this is a two-piece mold. Once the clay is removed, I'll pour the second half. Whereas this is a one-piece mold. And you gotta cut it open.
I'm still confused, but you're not embarrassed by cutting this like that? You look drunk.
No, I'm purposefully cutting the mold in a zigzag pattern.
Right.
This is gonna make sure that the mold fits back exactly the same way every time.
Hey, look at that. There's a little hair in there. Oh, that's something.
Yeah. So this shot right here is my two-piece mold after I've poured the silicone in for the second half.
Oh, why you got a giant shot?
I'm injecting plastic resin into the molds. I need to see if they're working right, and if not, I'll make some adjustments.
Look at that. That looks like some shrimp boots.
It's motorcycle boots, but
same thing.
at first they look good, but then you look close and you can see that didn't fill in right there, and also at the top. I need to make some adjustments to the mold.
What do you mean?
Well, let me show you. When you pour the resin, it's gonna come down this pipe and then up into the boot. But the problem is that as the resin starts to rise, it's gonna get the air trapped right in the tip of this boot. And then the resin's gonna keep filling up this part and then get caught right there because the air has nowhere to go. But these toothpicks right here are gonna act as an air vent, allowing the air to escape and the resin to fill up both of these areas.
I doubt that. Boy, Tino, I'm telling you, you better not blow up my house with your science projects.
Cool your jets. I'm just adding some black pigment to the resin because my stunt rider, he's gonna be mostly black, so I want the base color of the resin to be black. Mix this up real good. So after I cast him, see these hands came out? And then the collarbone and the pelvis, those came out. These are all the multi-bones. Looking good.
What about the boots?
Well, we getting to that.
I can guarantee you mess these up again. See?
What are you talking about? These came out great.
Well, that's a first.
Okay, you can see right here.
You drilling. I can tell.
Yep, you nailed it.
I think I'm pretty good at this. I got a feel for it. Is this what they call a podcast?
If you have to ask, then maybe,
Okay. You got some cord and help me out here. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
This is some leather cord that I got. And I'm using it to attach all the different limbs of the figure because I don't want it to be rigid like a normal joint. I want them to be loose like a crash test dummy.
Maybe I'm late to the party, but what the heck are you... Can I say that?
Yep.
What the heck are you building?
Well, this is gonna be a little figure, stunt rider. He's gonna be like Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel? Boy, I ever told you how Evel Knievel got his name?
No,
I was there.
that cannot be true.
Well, it was, and I was. See, a long time ago, Evel Knievel, his name wasn't Evil back then. His name was Francis, I think. Francis Knievel, that's right.
Nope.
Him and his best friend, Awful Knivel.
Awful. That is the most made-up name I've ever heard in my life.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Am I a guest on this show?
Yes.
Well, then can I finish my story?
Yes.
Okay, Francis Knievel always wanted to change his name because he got teased so much as a kid. Anyway, him and his best friend, Awful Knievel, they working offshore off the coast of Grand Isle. And anyway, they own an oil rig, and Awful Knievel, he got his name because he's terrible at his job. What is going on up here?
This is I took a picture of the figure and I put him into Photoshop. And now I'm just testing a bunch of different colors so I can see how I want to paint him.
Copy that. So, these two couillons are working on the oil rig, and there's grease flying everywhere. And the foreman comes by, and he's got a Hollywood starlet on his arm.
Hollywood starlet?
Yeah, she was studying for a role. I guess about oil rigs or something. Anyway, he turns to the starlet and says, "Let me introduce to you the worst worker on earth, Awful Knievel." And for some reason, this really upset Francis Knievel. And he jumps up and he says, "Hey, if his name is Awful Knievel, then my name is Evel Knievel, and we're gonna jump some bikes."
You're like an encyclopedia of history.
Anyway, Evel Knievel grabs the starlet's hand, getting her full of grease all over her fur coat and everything. And they all leave the oil rig in a big huff. And then, of course, what do? They start a stunt show. And it wasn't until much later that Awful Knievel said, "Hey, Evel Knievel, look, I'm leaving this packing action stunt show because you're never gonna go anywhere. You think too small and you got no guts." And that was the first of many terrible business decisions that he made.
That cannot even be close to the truth.
It is 100% true.
Oh, look, it's a picture of my figure after I finished painting him.
Let's get
High tech.
Check this out. I needed a little helmet for my stunt rider, but that is way out of my skill level range. So my good friend Kirk Stonicher, he said, "Hey, I'll print you one with my fancy 3D printer." And I was like, "Okay." And look at that. High tech.
Hey, is that my cuticle cutters?
God, no.
Better not be.
This is my cuticle cutters that I bought, and this is what I use to clean up these 3D prints or resin castings.
You got a hole in your glove.
I can see that. Anyway, I'm sanding down the 3D prints.
boring. Now that, my friend, is a whole... You're a mess.
Thank you.
Tinu gave me a little card to read.
You're not supposed to say that part.
Only use a spray paint in a well-ventilated area. Can I try that again?
Yes.
Only
You can.
only use spray paint in a well-ventilated.
Ventilated.
Only use spray paint in a well-ventilated
I
area.
think they got it.
How'd I do?
If you look up at the video screen, what I've been doing is I printed out some little stars and I stuck it to the helmet, and I just mark out the tip of the stars with a little red Stabilo pen, and then you can just draw a straight line through those little marks, and you're gonna get a perfect little star.
You should have just bought a sticker.
That kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Purpose? Oh, this I gotta hear.
What? The purpose of crafting?
I'm all ears.
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, crafting is bringing a little bit of light into the world. That there's enough things in the world that try to make people feel bad, and sometimes crafting is the thing that can make people smile. And anything that makes people smile is good. For some people, it's cars or video games, or some people dress up as furry creatures.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's not my jam. My jam is crafting, and I like to build silly things and film it.
Well, you definitely do that. I've been what they would call an unwilling witness to this whole messy process.
Me, thank you.
So I guess you painting a star?
You are absolutely correct.
Tell me what they call that when they put music to the film like that.
A montage.
A montage.
Yep.
Oh boy, I like that.
Yeah, it makes things fun. Here, I'm just using a Sharpie to make this line. And not everything needs to be perfect. It's kind of the sum of all the parts, or the overall feeling of what you come up with. So the helmet is done.
He looks kind of goofy.
Well, that's kind of the point.
A cinematic shot of plastic wrap? Explain that.
No.
Okay. Tinu, what kind of film is this?
So I used some modeling foam to make the inside lining of his helmet. It's called a moose. And what I'm doing is putting it inside of the helmet, and then I'm going to stick his head up in there with saran wrap so it doesn't damage him. And the moose is gonna, the modeling foam, is gonna mold to his head perfectly once it's dry. Custom. Well, my stunt rider and his stunt double are sharing a relaxing moment before the big jump. I'm naming this guy Awful Knaffle because, believe it or not, Evel Knievel did get his name because of a guy named Awful Knaffle. Hard to believe, but look it up. Alright boys, look alive. Let's go jump some bikes.
Yeah, I believe they smell blood in the air, Frank.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit, Steve. Look, they're setting up the ramp now. Whoa, that is a shocking display of incompetence.
Well, just how drunk is that guy?
I'd say extra.
Wait, is he only trying to jump one car?
Yep, ambition is not his middle name, but here he comes now, and he is up.
Showing perfect form on the takeoff.
And down, and up, man down again.
Ouch, something tells me he's gonna feel that tomorrow.
Yes, he will. And we've got a gore cam down on the scene. And what is he saying? Right, bring up the audio.
Wanna go again? We're going again.
Well, there you have it, folks. He wants to go again.
Why?
And he's flying down the stretch. Can he stick to the landing?
Doubt it.
Oh, face first into the pavement.
That's gonna require an orthodontist.
But he's giving a thumbs up to his crew. He wants to go again.
I'll be honest, I'm getting a little queasy here.
He's hitting the approach for his third attempt, getting big air. Oh, bam, bam, boom. That is horrific.
Is that the lower half of his body?
Yes, I don't think I'm eating dinner tonight, Steve.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna go home and hug my kids.
Yes, you do that. And thank you everyone for joining us. And please hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll catch you next time on Cajun Craftastrophe.
Mother, just try to stay calm, sir. Don't move. We'll get you to the hospital.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Move it up, boys. Ow, 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 ow. Stop, I'm famous.